Aloha, this is Soul, the founder of Soul University. Welcome to our 8-part series on embracing change. Over the next few minutes, you'll hear a snippet of a conversation that I've had with someone I know to be a powerful change agent. Enjoy. To my absolute delight, we have Deb Scott. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Saul. Oh, my gosh. You make me laugh so hard. I have to say, I was just enjoying your show so much. It's really a pleasure to be on. It's wonderful to speak with you, and I love your show.
Oh, you are making my face wrinkle up with smiles if this were a video cast, with these smiles from eye to eye. How many decades of experience do you bring to the table today?
I don't know. My birthday's coming up, so I'm going to be 48, Saul. Can you believe?
Woo-hoo!
Oh, my gosh.
So young.
Oh, so young. Yes, I love that. I love that. I have a friend of mine. You should have her on your show. She's writing a book now, The Sunshine Survivor, and she's my age. She's a year younger. She's a mom who survived cancer, double mastectomy, had to abort a child because she was going through chemotherapy, had a child. Just, oh my gosh, so many things. And this girl is the most positive, and I love getting around her for my birthday because she'll say, Deb, this is another year that I never thought I'd have to see your birthday or my birthday. And every birthday, she's always so grateful that she had a year to celebrate because she should have been dead years ago. And that attitude is contagious. Those are the type of people I try to surround myself with because we have to help each other. We have to think about who we hang out with. We have to think about what radio shows we're listening to, Saul. To remember that everything we're looking at, those gates, the eyes and the ears and the touch and the smell, all those things, they have an effect on us. So if you're going to stand next to perfume and manure, you better just think about which one you're going to stand next to because it's going to rub off on you.
And boy, do we remember those. You wrote something really quite powerful, and that is we should not be afraid of change. We should be afraid of staying the same. Wow. Deb, say more about that.
That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. So I think that staying the same, my goodness, I always look at nature as a good example because we're part of nature. We're all living. If you look at stagnant water, what grows in it but algae and crud? Nothing, not fish. Nothing can live in that. The Dead Sea is called the Dead Sea for a reason. Nothing's living in it. So for things to grow, they have to be moving and they have to be changing. It's great to look at those fast forwards when the roses, they bloom. Do you ever watch those fast forward bloom, roses blooming in the fast forward mode? I love those. They're beautiful, but it has to move. Nothing is going to happen without moving. And if we're moving and we're changing, we're alive and we're growing and we have opportunities and we can get better. And to stay the same is it's an illusion of safety, and it's not the best. It's not the best version of you because the idea that gravity is going to fall up, you're not going to change and get older is an illusion. So embrace that and be something better. Be afraid of staying the same. Being the same, there's nothing that is beautiful and magnificent staying the same. Everything that's alive is changing, and we have to do the same. If we really want to be alive, we have to change.
Now you bring up, it's interesting. I had to laugh one year when I was helping a friend unclutter from the holidays, and they were taking down their, what I called, artificial tree. And they said, oh, no, dear, permanent tree. They're calling them permanent trees now. And I thought, you know, how that applies to people. They think they've got to do the same thing. They've got to keep going on the same path. They don't want to make any ripples because they're afraid that if they make changes, people might not love them anymore for who they are. They get trapped into a cycle. They get trapped into a title. To me, that's death. To remain the same all the time is death.
Yeah, and it's just an illusion. It's counterfeit safety. It's counterfeit happiness. This idea that if you are staying the same, that you're somehow safe. That is just absolutely not true. There is no safety in that. That's an illusion. Did you ever hear the story of the butterfly? The butterfly coming out of the cocoon? You've heard that one. And the guy thinks he's going to help him, ends up hurting the butterfly, and the butterfly ends up dying because it didn't have the pressure to make the changes that it was going to need to be able to fly. The whole idea that our mother was probably right when she told us eat your vegetables. They're going to help you. They're going to taste good. You're going to try something and you absolutely love it. This is the truth for our own lives. If we just accept that this is as good as it gets, as the movie goes, then we're never going to have the opportunity to discover the new territories that exist. And we might meet a great person. We might meet somebody that we fall in love with. We might get the job of our life. We might discover something about ourselves. We might pick up a new hobby. We might discover all sorts of great things by just getting out there and trying, being willing to change, embrace new thoughts. Our best thinking gets us here. Our best thinking isn't going to get us out of here. We've got to look at everything in the world as an opportunity. I think people fear change because they're not looking as the world and God or the universe being on their side. If we come from a place where we know that we're lovable and we're awesome just the way we are, not because of what we look like, not because of how much money we have in the bank, and not because of who we're hanging out with, but just the mere fact that we exist and we're breathing right now in this little second of time of all of planet Earth, we're here. We are here for a special reason and purpose. If we know that makes us good enough, then we know that God and the universe is on our side. Then we're going to be looking at things like the eyes of a child saying, wow, I can discover this. And kids, they get all excited about every single thing. You give them a Tupperware thing and they're on the ground thinking they get the best toy in the world because everything's a discovery channel for them. Everything's fun. Everything's new. Everything's fresh. And if we come from that place of being safe and secure in who we are, just like that little child with their parents, being safe and just enjoying the moment, and then we can say, hey, this is a world to be discovered, not to be feared. And then when we're feeling good about that discovery, we're not going to want to stay the same. We're going to be propelled through love and passion and excitement and positive emotions. And we won't have to think about fearing change because it will just naturally happen for us. We'll just be excited. It's this whole thing about what's the secret? What's the recipe? What's this? How about it's what we do first and then naturally that will happen rather than trying to mechanically make something and then go backwards. If you ask different questions, sometimes you get different answers. Sometimes it's not the answers, it's the questions aren't being asked right. But that's just what I've seen in some of the people that I've met in personal experience. Everybody brings something to make the picture more colorful in the masterpiece of life.
Let's bring it home. I'm curious, Deb, at some point, you recognized you had to go from the analyzer, the worrier, the doubter. You had to go from that stage to the explorer, to allow all that in. Can you recall when that shift occurred for you? What was around that helped you get there into that moment?
Suffering in hell and on the floor in tears, feeling numb and completely powerless. Oh, yeah. You got to walk your talk. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And I have a hard time believing people that I love talking heads in the sense that I being the biology major and the science in me, I love scientific prospective randomized studies and all that. But you know what? I want to trust you first, and I want to believe you first. I can't believe you if you don't believe you and you haven't experienced it. Yeah, I would say that my motivation for doing what I do today is because I know where I've been, and I know where I can easily go if I don't practice all the stuff that I talk about on a regular basis. And it doesn't mean that those things don't happen to me that are tough, that put me on the ground sometimes. They're always opportunities. I always look at them differently, just as you said, from the sense of what can I learn from this? What does that mean? What are you trying to tell me, God? How can I grow on that? How can this be a gift that I'm not seeing? That's how I live my life now, and it's a much better way to live. I wish I could pinpoint what specific thing happened, which tragedy did it. Is it the 100th blow or the 99th? I'm not really sure. I think it's just the business of living. You read the book, you know there's a big story in there, so oh my gosh, I don't know which one to pick. Well, the flavor of the month.
That's what I'm trying to tease out, because for those listening in, what you're hearing Deb say is, unfortunately, it seems for most of us, we have to get to that place where we literally got to let go and let God, so to speak. We've got to get there to where we are so pummeled, so desperate, so angry, so whatever. We've got to literally get to that last breath before we make change. And what this show is about is, ladies and gentlemen, you can go that path. That is certainly a very popular path. But what Deb and myself and every other person on this panel is trying to help you hear is you don't have to go that path. You can begin to adopt change into your life to make those changes step by step without having to go that path. Am I hearing you correct, Deb? Am I off target there?
That's exactly it.
You go.
No, that is so it. That is exactly it. It's no problem if you want to reinvent wheels for the rest of your life and be in the rocking chair that moves a lot and gets you nowhere. You can do that. But you know what? There's a reason why people are listening right now, and you can learn from others. And don't wait. Open your mind up so that you can start now embracing those changes rather than waiting till you're on the ground. I've been there, done that. You don't have to be like that. You don't have to live like that. And when you accept that and you start experiencing it yourself and it becomes your own, it's wow, then you're really excited. And the adventure on the Discovery Channel of you is something you want to watch on a regular basis. And it doesn't get any better than that. Do you think so? Isn't that the truth?
Oh, how true. How absolutely so true.
You are awesome to have had me come on, and I'm so grateful. I'm excited. And thank you for all that you're doing. You're the real deal, and love and blessings.
Once again, my face is all wrinkled up and is now even blushing. Thanks for inspiring a blush, Deb. Thanks. Oh,
bye,
yes.
Saul. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.
Bye.
Lots of love. Bye-bye.
Now, was that fun or what? Our next class, too, we're going to meet an internationally acclaimed speaker, author, Madeline Blanchard. Check out her insights on how it is that we resist change and ways to resolve that resistance. You get to hear expertise that people have paid thousands of dollars for coaching. She's going to share with you, all for the expense of your time. Thanks again for listening. This is Sol, the founder of Sol University. If you need assistance with embracing change, we'll see you in class. Aloha.